Good morning, welcome. This is Michael Fitzgibbons. I'm here with a friend of mine, Rich Devlin, an old friend. And we're here for purposes of discussing something that he's involved with, which is something that we hear about called AI. So Rich, why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself and what you're up to, and we'll go from there.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mike. Enjoy meeting all you this morning. My name is, as Mike said, Rich Devlin, and I'm from Newton, Massachusetts. And I have had a career involved in computers and most recently AI. And I find this a very interesting point in time to talk about this very important topic. I've been a practitioner of AI, someone who does research in that area and uses it, and can speak to both the breadth and depth of it this morning.
Great. Okay, so the goal is AI is obviously on everybody's mind, and in trying to, and everybody's knowledge level is different. So you had asked me to put a list of questions together for you, and I did, and we can go through them. But I think what would be more interesting is we just came from breakfast and had a wonderful breakfast at the Morning Glory Diner, 78 Portland Street. Pretty good. Why don't you tell them a little bit about our conversation that we had at breakfast? Because I think that, and ask some of the questions. Let's just kind of review.
Yeah. I think before getting into specifically what is AI, one has to start with getting a perspective and then putting AI into that perspective. Where we start is that humans are spiritual beings in a physical world. And by starting with that, Mike, and having that as the grounding point, it leads you down different paths. And it helps us humans understand that we are a combination of heart, mind, and soul. And that if you take those three components, what does AI impact most? The mind. Because our mind wants to know. In what AI does truly in its biggest understanding of the technologies is it helps us know more than ever before. Artificial intelligence today is a set of mathematical operations that is calculated by a computer a quadrillion times a second to determine what is the next letter in an answer that comes from a prompt. So let me just decode that. You might have used ChatGPT.
Yes.
You might have used Gemini from Google. You might have used Grok from X or some other AI. And all these AIs are what they call LLMs, or large language models. And large language models are a set of mathematics that are put into a software program that might have something like 600 billion neurons. And that 600 billion neurons is being fed data and is trained. Is trained over hundreds of thousands of hours. And one of the big opportunities for people these days is just the assembly and the aggregation of data to feed these AI engines. And these AI engines then, once they learn this information, can then be queried. You can ask a question, you know.
Where are the AI machines?
The AI machines these days are in the cloud.
Okay, so it's all cloud.
It's all cloud, and these have massive computing farms behind them. So we've read about these large installations in Texas and Kentucky and California, all around the world, to build these large machines which operate on large data sets that can then be given questions for which all this power can be unleashed to give incredible answers.
Huge computers.
Huge computers.
Like warehouse.
Like warehouses. And what's most important to understand about AI is that these mathematics may change over time, but the purpose of AI won't change. And the purpose of AI is to know more than any human could, or us humans could. It's like the biggest telescope or the deepest microscope. So, but knowing is short of understanding. And where we come in, and we'll talk about it, Mike, is that the knowing aspect is extremely important to us as humans, knowing what medicines, knowledge. However, knowledge is not our objective. It's higher levels that are our objective as humans. Such as our heart and our soul. Okay. So what we can do is, back to the beginning, heart, mind, soul, the AI can feed the mind and help us make decisions. Decisions by ourselves, decisions in relationships, decisions countries, decisions on technology, whatever occupies our mind. LLMs, large language models, really allow us to take this large data set and ask questions. We could ask the questions in German, in French, in English, and we get out answers in our language. There's also SLM, small language models. And small language models are models that are built specifically for a discipline, like maybe drug research, or navigation, or ecological, or financial. They don't have a large vocabulary. They have a very specialized small language model. They have a very specialized knowledge base. The other types of AI being developed include general intelligence, something that knows or tries to know everything, general intelligence. And
that sounds dangerous.
And then there's specialized interests, again, back to understanding maybe some aspect of engineering or oil exploration. So there are different AIs being developed for different purposes, and also we're at the advent of maybe a personal AI, which means today, if you use ChatGPT, you're contributing to a general knowledge base because of privacy concerns. You're sharing your information. So whatever you put into ChatGPT, ChatGPT is sourcing and using and perhaps sharing with other people. But what I've been working on with my own company, Gig Intelligence Corporation, is the ability to have a personal AI and a cloud AI. So your personal AI is truly yours. It's privacy. It's protected information.
Right. Privacy is really, it's not respected anymore.
Yes, and so AI is going to exacerbate and force this privacy issue to come to a head, because AI can be so intrusive that it can become overwhelming. And AI itself can become so sophisticated that a lie might actually be obfuscating the truth. And so when one tries to think about security, is my information private? It's really a very deep question.
Well, it's kind of hilarious. We all see this. Whatever we're looking at on the internet, we suddenly see a barrage of whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And it's comical, but it's not.
Right. And so this is where it's important for us as humans to define a system that's going to respect privacy. In the company that I founded, Gig Intelligence Corporation, has that as its foundation, a very strict respect for privacy.
Okay. How many artificial intelligence opportunities are there out there in terms of subscribing, becoming part of as a consumer? Is that a naive question even? I don't know.
No, there are lots of different opportunities to become part of an AI, let's say community, ecosystem, or just platform.
Like the ChatGPT.
Like ChatGPT.
So Giga will be another brand like Chat.
Actually, ChatGPT is a platform, whereas what my company's worked on is a system. And a system is something that is dynamic, changes as events change. So it's not just a prompt, get back an answer. No, it's very active in its interaction. So it's a system. And ChatGPT can be part of that.
It's a support. It's a support. It's behind the scenes.
Right. And the goal here really is to take technology and reorient technology such that instead of mankind serving technology, technology serves mankind. And that's the really fundamental battle
Right.
that's at hand.
Okay, so breakfast, right? Rich came up from Massachusetts this morning, and I came in from Denmark, so Rich traveled. And at breakfast, he asked me, do you remember 2001, Space Odyssey? And I laughed because I had been actually thinking about that this morning because of how, right? But what was the question that you asked me about that movie? It wasn't about that. It was before that.
Right.
How?
2001: A Space Odyssey opens up with prior to man's mastery of technology. It starts with monkeys, and a monkey at some point picks up a stick and whacks another monkey over the head.
Right. And you said, what was your question? What was that about?
What was that about?
And I said, that was a weapon.
Correct. And you know, one of our concerns is that AI can become a weapon.
Right.
In the wrong hands, it could become a weapon that has tremendous repercussions and poses a tremendous threat.
Okay, so that's a lot to lasso.
Yeah. However, at the same time, it's an opportunity for us to look at it objectively and come around to how do we want AI to help us? How does it serve us? And I think that it's a dynamic. There's a lot happening on many fronts,
Right.
whether it's government or all the way down
Right.
to a personal level.
Right.
But it's a tsunami, and it's going to require us to have to come to grips with a whole lot of stuff in a very
Okay.
short period of time.
So, how long have you been working on this?
I've been working on this specific type of idea for 18 years.
Okay.
Okay, but I've been working in the area of AI since I got out of college in 1981.
Right.
When I got out, I immediately got on to AI.
But you've known some people that are very lofty in AI, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of development, right? I mean,
Yes.
so you're the developer. What ideally would you like to see come of this?
Right. So I think that AI is something that can be used for incredible benefit in purposes. And so if we stay focused on that for a moment. And
Yes.
Okay. AI can, if AI is able to achieve its potential to help us know more, wider and deeper than ever before, then there are all these benefits. Benefits to medicine, benefits to health, benefits to our environment, benefits to our finances, benefits to our navigation, benefits in countless numbers of ways, and it all will happen because we will make it happen. Us humans will make it
Yes.
happen. Okay?
Okay.
And if technology makes all this happen, it can be very good.
Okay.
Okay? And so however, it's going to push people to reinvent themselves. So for instance, if a lawyer is known for their ability to present a case and argue a point, AI is going to help them make that case and argue that point better than ever before. If somebody is into, let's say, medical research, and they are trying to understand a dynamic at the quantum level or
Right.
chemical level, AI will help them know that better than perhaps anybody else ever could.
Is that available now?
It is available now, and it's happening at light speed. And that's the reason why there's so much investment into this area. However, at the same time, it is always that AI is something that is a tool that can help us. So even if you hear the words superintelligence, you know, it's the new buzzword, okay? We're on the verge of superintelligence where,
Right.
where it can start to reason itself. It can
Yes.
start to come up with its own...
It can write its own story.
Write its own story. So it's impinging upon our creativity. We think of ourselves as
Yes.
being the ones that can innovate. And the answer is AI is going to push us to innovate in new ways.
Okay.
It's going to innovate innovation.
Okay. All right.
So think of it like an accelerator.
Okay.
It's going to accelerate.
I hear everything that you're
Everything.
saying. Okay, now, how will this, inspire us to connect.
Right, and so the opportunity and what I've been working on on my system and platform is focusing on understanding. And understanding and reasoning and belief and judgment are beyond this simple knowing.
Okay.
So for instance, in relationships, if I have a device and my device understands me, and you have a device like an iPhone, and your device understands you,
Yes, you shared this
then
before.
we can talk about a subject
Right.
whereby my AI not only understands me, but is communicating with you and the understanding of you
Right.
regarding that subject. And that subject is
Yeah,
being processed by something in the cloud.
Yes.
And so we have three sets of understanding going on at the same
Right,
time.
and the message is kind of repackaged in a way that sits well for the other person. Is that
Correct.
okay?
And so
This is mind-boggling.
So whether we speak different languages or we're different type of people, maybe I'm someone who's very detailed oriented and I want to tell you a litany about a subject, but you're
Right.
a summary person. You just want to know the paragraph.
Yeah, next.
Not the page.
Next.
Okay? or you're someone who's more analytical and you want more data, or you want to
Right.
see graphs, or maybe you just want a summary, or maybe you want a 5-second video, whatever. We're going to move towards, and what I've been developing is that, where there's that this understanding is something that's being transacted all the time, which is more than knowing. So it's beyond, it supersedes AI.
Okay. How is AI going to foster this? The real communication, the real.
Well, that's an excellent question, Mike, and I think it's best answered by saying it provides opportunity and challenge, meaning that the opportunity exists, as I said, for something that understands us, me for me, you for you, and then understands how this communication between me and you can be better, optimal, conflict-free, what have you. Okay. And so that's the good side. The bad side is that you could become obsessed, I could become obsessed with all the whether it's reality or illusion that AI creates.
Okay. So,
and therefore misleads us in either the discussion of the topic or our own ability to communicate.
okay. So do you think there's hope with AI?
Yes, I think there's tremendous hope, and I think there's also tremendous risk. And it's really our ability to work and to understand that hope and that risk and to manage it, that it will ultimately make the difference. Could AI supersede mankind and put us at peril? Yes. But there's that.
We talked about that. I said,
that,
will the machines, take us over, and then they won't need us, and that'll be the next wave of creation. It's just all electronics.
Right. Could technology wipe out humankind? It could. Okay.
Yeah.
But there's no need for it to.
Okay.
There's no reason for it to.
Okay. So
there's every reason for it to accelerate our own existence. Go back to the fundamental point. Humans are spiritual beings in a physical world. We're in this world. While we're in this world, it's like make the best of it. And that doesn't mean we need to control it. It means we do need to know about it.
That's a good lead-in. This is why I'm reaching for my phone, because I think it's a good lead-in for another question. Is it going to require governing?
Yes, there needs to be governing of AI, because in and of itself, AI is so powerful that if it doesn't have the right rules and constraints put around it, then it can get out of hand.
Okay, it is absolutely the Wild West right now, right?
Well, no, I wouldn't say it's the Wild West.
Okay,
I would say that it is a tsunami that is a water wave coming so fast, so high, so hard, that it is overwhelming just about everybody who is involved in the legislation or the governing of it, because it's just so big, so so fast.
Could potentially be a weapon in the wrong hands,
And of course, there's always that risk.
right?
Many people believe it's going to replace jobs, okay?
Yes,
it's going to,
it's going to create jobs.
it's going to create a lot of jobs. But the point is that humans need to understand is you don't want to get in the way of AI. You don't want to get in its way because it will roll you over. You want to get on board. You want to get on board and ride the wave.
Okay, so how does the person do that?
Well,
How does the person do that?
Well, today it's get on to these platforms, but use a platform like ChatGPT or Gemini or Grok or whatever, Apple AI. Use it in some way that it doesn't invade your privacy. So if you're going to use it for the purposes of either getting information or sharing information that you wouldn't mind being public, like asking something about the economy, asking something about the weather,
Okay.
and get on, use it, or in social media, help you write something. But whatever it is, guard your privacy.
Okay. So
And then on my system, that privacy issue doesn't exist. The system that I'm developing, you have your own AI. So you would have your own AI, I'd have my own AI, and all the data that should be private is kept private.
So it's like a subscription.
Subscription.
It is a subscription.
And you build your own AI. And then there's an AI that works between us, that understands you, understands me, but respects the privacy.
Okay. Are there competitive products right now that you can subscribe to that's the biggest differentiation of what you're offering is the privacy aspect, wouldn't you say?
That's one of the big aspects.
Yeah. What other thing?
The other is the focus on bringing together all the information about a subject. So for instance, let's say that you're interested in a sports team or weather or finance, that all the information, whether it's within the giga system that's developed or outside the system, is able to be available.
Well,
so because again, the root of what people and businesses want to get to is to start by knowing. And that's what AI... Information. And if you think about a pyramid, data is at the bottom, information is the next level up. And that's where we humans have been focused on since our beginning.
Data.
Data and information, just data information. So what we have today is data or mania. Anything and everything you want to know, you can find it on the internet, okay? But it doesn't mean, even if you know it, doesn't mean you understand it. And the opportunity is for AI to know more and make it easier for us to get to the information behind the data in order that it helps us move towards understanding.
Okay. So here's the hope in that, okay? And this is the positive. The positive is everybody can contribute.
Correct.
Everybody's got a voice.
Right.
Collectively, we could do some stuff if we just get organized.
Right. Right. A lot of truths are subjective, such as because we might want to know the future, but nobody knows the future, but we can understand possible outcomes.
Well, here's how. I ran this out just now with the baseball analogy. Okay, so you want to know who's going to win a baseball team, and you've got AI, and you know that the Red Sox have these players. And AI will know all of those players' background and all of their batting averages and all of it, right? So that information will be synthesized for both sides.
Right.
Potentially for outcome.
Right. Right.
The odds of the winner.
Right. And so those who are driven by analytics and data believe that they can know, and the more they know, then the better a decision will be. And that's a fallacy, because there's always a gap. And the gap is because it's not enough to know, you have to understand. So for instance, as I said, we are shaped by heart, mind, and soul. And when a batter gets up there, you might have all the analytics, right? But it still comes down to their
I
heart.
might have had a bad morning.
Their heart. Their heart. Right at that moment. Their will.
Right.
Okay? And that's not in the analytics.
Yes.
And it cannot
Well, that's
and it cannot be known.
Well, that's life.
And that's my point. And then my point is that AI...
Life will always rule.
We will always rule as long as we make it that way.
Okay. And
so if I were young and I now am getting an education, for instance, and back in the day, a lot of our education was based on knowing, memorizing.
Right.
Okay? No, all this AI is going to push those younger people to realize that knowing can be something that they should work on, but they always have the use of an AI that can know. But even if it can know and help in knowing, it's the human's job to understand.
Right.
And to make judgment and to give good reasoning.
Right.
And to make sure it ties into a value system that they believe in.
Yeah.
So in their value system, do they believe in something like democracy? Do they believe in something like a totalitarianism? Do they believe in something like it's all about my rights? Is it something about, no, I have a moral consciousness and I think about others and I think about the environment and I think about this? It's really going to push us to be able to actually think about those with more time. Because suddenly we'll have the ability to say, well, I could think about that. I could think about the ramifications of this, the second, the third, and the fourth level.
So listening to you, I hear two thoughts. Okay. One is the AI is wonderful. Okay. Life with people happens in the moment. And AI isn't going to know exactly where you are in the moment, heart, spirit, and soul.
Right.
Okay. Do you think that AI in general can inspire people to do better and think of themselves less?
Right. Martin Luther King said that we are on 3 simultaneous journeys, outer, upper, and inner. And I like that model because it says that it's a process and that our entire life is spent on those 3 journeys. And you just talked about the inner journey. We're always in the process of self-discovery. And the more we discover about ourselves, there's more to discover. We never fully understand ourselves, but it's a process. The second one is with our Creator, whether you're of this faith. I think technology is actually not swamping out faith. It's actually creating the understanding that faith is needed because technology does not have all the answers. And this world does not offer all the answers. And if all you are is about the mania of this world, you're going to be empty. You need to find something that's something else. And that something else is a belief system.
So here's... Okay.
And the third, I'll get to the third. And the third is about relationships. And the third is about this AI helping us not understand what we interact with, meaning it's going to help us understand the physical world and everything about the physical world, which is described by physics and chemistry and biology. It's going to help us understand that. But it's also going to help us, give us opportunity to understand relationships. It's going to help us understand the simple relationships of father, mother, brother, sister, neighbor, cousin,
Ex.
aunt,
X.
It's going to give us an opportunity. So I really believe that AI is going to be a tremendous enabler that if used properly,
will help people come together.
Help people and all that. Help me build my faith, understand myself, and build a relationship with others, including the physical world. And here's an interesting one. Think about this. Go out 100 years. Okay, where will mankind be in 100 years? It's probable that part of that world will be robots. That robots will be prevalent in ways that were perhaps anticipated by the Jetsons.
Right.
Okay? And in that moment, do those robots understand us? Do we understand those robots?
Mathematically...
Do they understand each other? And what I'm saying is that we're going to move to a time where this AI has enabled this new level of understanding, which is what I've been working on through my platform, to now take hold and become real.
Okay. So how do we unlock all the potential without the special interests?
That's a good question, because I think it's looking at AI in a way that is applied to our needs in the way we need it, meaning that if I need an AI that understands me and respects my privacy, then that's what's created. Okay, is that I don't have to give up my privacy. I don't have to give up my free will. I don't have to give up a whole lot of stuff just to participate in AI. Think of AI as being, today we think of just a few players. Like I said, ChatGPT, okay. Think of it going wild. Think of there being countless number of AIs. AIs associated with machines, AI associated with people, AI associated with topics. There's going to be a plethora of AIs. And it's in that special interest will try to always find an advantage, but it's up to us to make sure that that doesn't happen.
What other things should we be discussing?
I think one of them is for the older people, it's to understand that AI has a lot of value and can contribute to a lot of good outcomes. For the younger people, it's don't let AI lead you down to believe that you don't really need to continue to work on your education.
Okay.
You've got to work on your education. You've got to use AI not as a crutch.
Right.
You've got to
As
use
an
it
encyclopedia.
as an accelerator. It's going to help you do more, and you have to be reaching for that more.
Do you think that AI will present educational opportunity that might even replace or compete with higher education?
No, I think it will enable higher education to be even better, so that that teachers will be able to do more customized teaching, that teachers will help students do more examination beyond knowing, memorization, that truly, for instance, let's say that there is a process, A, B, C, and C feeds back to A, that some teachers might say, I just want to educate the kids to help them to know that the process is A, B, C feeds back to A. But now AI is going to say, wait a second, I can answer that question. What's the process? A, B, C feeds back to A. I can answer that question. That enables the student now to spend more time on understanding, well, what if B doesn't work? What if C gets replaced? What if? You know, what could I do?
Yeah.
What should I do?
Right.
What would I do?
Isolate constants.
So I think it's going to
Variables.
really help for the younger people who really want to take advantage of AI and use it to help them in their careers. It's to build their curiosity and to build their willingness to now take on subjects and go deeper, go wider and deeper on a subject, and move beyond knowing to understanding, and then making judgment. So for instance, if you're a doctor, and this is a case of mine, I was deficient in iron, and I saw my hematologist. In my blood, my iron counts were going down. And so I happened to be in to have a consult, and the hematologist said, well, Mr. Devlin, your counts are going down. You haven't hit the threshold yet to warrant an infusion, but they're going down, and you're going to be below that within a month. But you're here right now. Why don't we get you an infusion? So I got an infusion, and my counts came back up. Subsequently, she retired. And when I went back 6 months later, they were following the same trend.
Right.
But this time I didn't see a doctor. She had retired. I saw a nurse practitioner. And she presented me with the same data.
Right.
And I said, well, I'm here. I guess I'm going to get an infusion. And she said, oh, no, you're not. And I said, what do you mean? And she said, well, you haven't crossed this threshold. And I said, yeah, but you can clearly see, like last time, it's going down. And I'm going to cross it. She said, but that's not our policy. Our policy is that until it's below this line, you don't get an infusion. She said, we look down upon that former doctor. And what I realized is that in that moment, that doctor used judgment. Judgment.
Okay. Your doctor, the initial
My
one?
doctor. My doctor.
The
used
first
judgment.
one or the first one?
The second was nurse practitioner.
Yes, the doctor
The
used
doctor.
judgment.
Judgment.
Okay.
And what I'm saying is AI, even if AI had said to that first doctor, no infusion, hasn't crossed the threshold.
Yes.
Okay?
I agree with that.
The doctor used judgment. And what I'm saying is AI, in all of these instances, can propose something to us, but it's our own judgment
Right.
that needs to come into play
Right.
at every moment.
Right.
Could I? Should I?
You're an
would I?
you're an airline pilot, and you're going down. How far down do you have to go before you take action?
Yeah.
It's the exact. That was the judgment call that your physician made in the
Right.
moment.
And what I'm saying is that us
AI
humans,
won't replace that.
we always need to maintain judgment.
Okay.
And the other one is our value system and our belief system. So when decisions are made, what frame of reference, what type of value system stands behind that decision? Today we have a lot of differences in political opinion. Okay, we have people on this side, this side, this side, this side, this side, and everybody wants their platform, and everybody wants to be
terrible.
heard, and everybody wants to
Well, that's not unique to. It's everything.
It's everything.
Everybody wants to be their own star, self-included. I mean,
Right,
you know,
right,
I mean,
right,
it's
right.
ridiculous, and we
Right.
can't be.
Right.
But we're also busy talking. No one's listening.
Yeah, and so what I think is happening is AI can either A, contribute to the mania and cause us to be focused on this information and us trying to discern what's the truth versus what's the illusion. Or we can come out of that into the verdant pasture. And that verdant pasture is what I've been trying to work on.
Right.
Which is focused on understanding, where difference of opinion can be expressed in a civil way, and it can be discerned from that where somebody's sympathies lie. The biggest thing that AI, in John F. Kennedy spoke about this, is the myth. And the myth is more harmful to mankind than any weapon system or political system or any other. The myth of a particular point of view that gets pushed or promoted, right? And AI is going to
suppressed.
Or suppressed. And AI is going to just, like I said, it's going to accelerate everything. And it's going to make possible myths, which might be behind special interest, something that we have to contend with. And I think that is one of the big challenges going forward, is for us to figure, as mankind and people, to discern what's the myth, which is actually bigger than the lie. And therefore in AI, as AI comes, where do we go? I think, you know, when it comes to specific...
You think we can find some truth and understanding?
We
That's
can.
the goal.
That's the goal. And
that's what your platform's about.
And that's what I'm working on,
Yeah.
that AI is essential. However, it needs to be put into context.
Right.
It needs to be put into a system that works for us.
Okay.
There's an actual instance of my own driving. I'm at a rotary. I have a red light. I'm the first car in the line of cars.
Right.
5 o'clock on a summer weekday afternoon in Massachusetts, and in a busy town. There are 4 lanes of traffic to my left. The 2 closest lanes are going to go straight, and the other 2 lanes are going to curve around and continue in the rotary.
Yes.
It's 5 o'clock, and I'm saying to myself, 5 o'clock, people are rushing to get home.
Yes.
And so I look to the left, and I see lots of cars. There are a long line of cars going straight. Those are the closest 2 lanes.
Yes.
There is a car and other cars in the 3rd lane. In the 4th lane, I can't see quite over there. I can't quite see. So the light goes green. And now it's my turn to pull into the rotary and to make my way. But I realize, wait a second, I can't see the 4th lane, There's no car in the front of the fourth lane. What if somebody is going to run that red light? What if somebody wants to get home and is willing to drive right through that red light, even though it's been red now?
Right, but there's no,
1 second. So I decide I'm going to count to 4. I'm not going to proceed into that intersection until I count to 4. So I'm going to give 4 seconds for some car
behind you to honk.
Behind me to honk, but to wait to see.
Yeah, if the car's going to come out. Nowhere.
Out of nowhere. And when you know it, I count 1, 2, 3, and suddenly a SUV comes plowing from that fourth lane, which was supposed to curve around to go straight.
Wow.
To go straight. And had I pulled out, I would have been
smacked.
Yeah, probably killed. So what's my point? A navigation system like they have today with self-driving cars would not have known, remember, there's a difference between knowing and understanding, wouldn't have known that, okay?
Yes.
Now, it might have been pinging off a satellite that if all cars were part of this navigation system saw this car coming through, but it still would not have, that navigation still would not have known that that person had every intent on running the red.
Okay.
Because the navigation system might have said, that person should stop.
Okay.
But they're not. It's under human control. And so what happens is that I showed judgment and understanding. And I also valued my safety over my time. It wasn't about, I got to get to a destination. I'm pulling through this intersection to hell with everybody else. No, so what I'm saying, Mike, is that our AI is going to help us if we can use it as a tool that helps us know more, but we still need to be the one making the judgment in aligning it with our value system. The system I'm working on does all that processing. There's a mountain and mountains and mountains of understanding behind everything, and we only understand a little bit. And if we understood more, or we understood what we need to understand, then we'd make better decisions. Better decisions as perhaps a country, better decisions perhaps as a state, as a city, as a region, as within our families, within ourselves, etc. And that is the opportunity that AI affords us. It takes care of a lot of the knowing, as long as it's accurate, and enables us to get to these higher levels and more consideration.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think we're done. Are we, is there more to discuss, or are we good?
I think we're good.
Yeah, I think, I hear hope in general in this. I started my thought, and I was interrupting, but what AI really offers, unlike other tools that have come along so far, is the ability to, for lack of a better way, even though it's all driven by math, think, okay? And it'll be collective thought, because it'll be contributing, and how we manage it will really be up to humanity.
Right, and so where I'm going is that some people might say today the challenge is to figure out how does AI affect them in their job, in their life, etc. And I'm going one step further. That is a good question, and it's worth asking and getting an answer to. But there's a bigger question. And the bigger question is, how can understanding impact me? How can understanding myself...
It just might be that we could get an opportunity to help, to serve.
Right. So how does...
How would that be?
How do we make
How
that...
could I help the circumstance?
Right. So how can we make that leap from just knowing to understanding and judgment and belief and reasoning?
Action.
And that's what I've been working on.
Yeah. It's exciting stuff, Rich.
Very good.
Thanks for coming up.